Well, why don't you look at this? The paid activist got fired.
More breaking news tonight. The Trump administration has abruptly fired 8 immigration judges here in New York City. All of them worked at a 26 Federal Plaza. That's the building that also serves as the city's headquarters for ICE. There is some suspicion that the fired judges were deemed too sympathetic. Their dismissal likely to create a backlog for the remaining judges. The firings follow weeks of threats by President Trump to be more aggressive with deportations in New York City.
CBS New York has now confirmed the Trump administration fired 8 immigration judges here in the city. The National Association of Immigration Judges says they were fired yesterday from the immigration court offices at 26 Federal.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, walk everybody outside. Walk everybody out. And there's a lot of other people, other judges, a lot of other people that ought to be walked out, fired, put in handcuffs. You got to put your hands behind your back. Y'all don't want to do right. Y'all are not judges either. They not judges. Walk them out. Walk everybody out. So a lot of people need to be walked out.
That building is where ICE has its New York City headquarters, immigration court, and where detainees have been held. The firings come after dozens of immigration judges across the country have been let go since January.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. You try to. We will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
You are fired. Santa Claus is coming to town. No. It's the orange man's coming to town. The big bad orange man. The big bad orange man. The orange man's coming to town. The orange man is coming to town. And he's gonna make an example out of you. Y'all sing along with me now. I done made a new one. I done made a new Christmas carol. Yeah, buddy. Merry Christmas, everybody. We can now finally say Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hope y'all staying warm. The temperature done shot down here in Texas. Man, it was still hot. The sun was out. I was feeling good. Then all of a sudden, 3 hours later, woof, it just dropped. Man, I was out there working on my car. And I say, man, I'm getting cold. Yeah, man, I was working on that engine, you know. Yeah, I was changing them spark plugs and them coils out. You know, looking at my valve covers, making sure everything was nice and right. And that temperature just shot down on me. I had to put a jacket on. Man, some of them patriots they ain't put a jacket on. They in a muscle shirt or, tank top, or they don't got no shirt at all. And they out there in that cold weather. I know how them patriots get down. Don't worry. But we got to get into this, family. Let's go and check this out. Somebody's been fired. And they say the big bad orange man is in town. Oh boy, this is good.
2 immigration court judges say they were fired without cause by the Trump administration, and now they're speaking out about the impact it could have on the immigration system. This comes as 7 other judges in New York were fired just yesterday. KTVU's Jana Katsuyama joins us live from the newsroom with those details. Jana?
Claudine, the former judges say that this came as a shock. They showed us the letter from the Department of Justice that gave no reason for the firings. These judges say they aren't alone. Their professional association says that nationwide there has been a wave of unexplained terminations of judges in immigration courts.
I had 2 hearings scheduled for that Friday afternoon.
Judge Shu-Ting Chen and Judge Jeremiah Johnson say they both were at work at San Francisco's immigration courts when they found out they were being fired.
They walked them out.
There was no reference to any negative performance reviews or any complaints that I had received or any problematic performance metrics of any kind. It was simply a vague email saying that I was being released.
The Attorney General had decided no other reason given. I know of no other reason.
Johnson said they were among 5 judges in San Francisco who received an emailed letter on November 21st. Fired after years of service with no stated cause for termination, something they say is illegal for civil employees. A U.S. Department of Justice spokesperson said they could not comment on personnel matters, but sent a statement saying, quote, after 4 years of the Biden administration forcing immigration courts to implement a de facto amnesty for hundreds of thousands of aliens, this Department of Justice is restoring integrity to our immigration system. Johnson says he was a Trump appointee in 2017 during the first administration. One of the other judges fired was a vice and military veteran. The judges say they decide asylum cases based on facts and the law.
I would say the Department of Homeland Security probably only appealed my decisions in fewer than 5% of my asylum grants. I have never been remanded by the Board of Immigration Appeals or the Ninth Circuit.
The firings come as the National Association of Immigration Judges say 7 additional judges in New York were fired Monday, a total of nearly 100 firings by the Trump administration's DOJ, which oversees immigration court judges. Johnson and Chen say at the beginning of 2025, there were 21 San Francisco immigration judges. Now there are only 9.
I was hearing 6 individual cases a day. I was, since July, assigned a second docket.
There's something like 3.75 million cases pending in immigration court. The other judges who were fired with me and I each had dockets of 4,000 to 6,000 cases each. So the 5 of us together had probably 25,000 pending cases that we were all working on.
The U.S. DOJ posted a job listing calling for people to apply to become, quote, deportation judges and offering incentives for applicants to San Francisco and other courts.
The learning curve is going to be incredibly difficult for someone who doesn't have the experience. They'll have to come in, they'll have to be trained on the substantive law, but then they'll also have to sit in on court hearing after court hearing to see how other people apply it.
These judges say they're worried about the impact on the nation's immigration court system.
Cases are sitting, cases are languishing because of immigration judges being fired. There's a circumvention, a dismantling of the courts.
Overall, some 15 judges in the Bay Area have been fired. According to the Track Immigration website that tracks data, most of those judges had high rates of granting asylum, but the website also notes that there are many factors impacting that, such as the nationality of asylum seekers, which can vary by caseload. Reporting live from the newsroom.
The best part about this show is that y'all know I love showing what people are saying on the ground, what you were saying on the ground. What the people are saying on the ground, whether they're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, independent, let's just read some. Those are not judges. They are paid activists. Y'all can see it on my screen. It's right here. The judges were not deporting illegals following the laws. If law enforcement has to consistently arrest people you let in, you are part of the problem. Whew. Welcome to the private sector. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Liberals are always shocked when they find out they can be fired. Whew. The executive branch has every right to fire any judges associated with immigration. They know why they got fired. Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. I got fired for not doing my job. Oh. Someone says long overdue, and they put the long and they put extra O's on it. So long overdue. Yes, indeed, man. What a time to be alive. And I got Dr. Steve with me. We finna break this thing down. He says you won't believe how many judges Trump just fired. Uh-oh.
They're calling it a massacre, and the legacy media is absolutely losing their minds over it. This week, President Trump fired a massive number of immigration judges in a single day. They're calling it the Purge. But here's what they won't tell you. Stick with me to the very end of this video, and I'll show you why this might be the most brilliant move Trump has made yet.
Oh, boy.
So if you want a front row, sure. And today, it just got a whole lot better. President Trump is firing immigration judges all across the country at unprecedented levels. Just yesterday, he fired 8 in New York City alone, and that after having already fired a previous 6 judges in Manhattan, eliminating 25% of New York's immigration judiciary. In San Francisco, a total of 15 judges were just sacked by Trump last week. San Francisco now has less than half the immigration judges they had this time last year. But all of this is just the tip of the iceberg. Altogether, over the last year, since January, President Trump has fired over 100 immigration judges across the country. That's 20%, 1/5 of the nation's immigration judges. Now, you may be asking yourself the question, Dr. Steve, what the heck is an immigration judge? Well, I'm very glad you asked that. What is an immigration judge supposed to do? I'll be happy to answer that. Well, simply put, an immigration judge is an administrative official who presides over court hearings to decide whether non-citizens can remain in the United States or must be removed. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, the legacy media would like you to think that these judges are like federal judges, supposedly independent, untouchable, serving for life. That is flat out wrong. They are lying to you when they allude to that. And the legacy media knows that. They know they're lying. Immigration judges are not what we call Article 3 federal judges, right? Article 3 in the Constitution deals with the judiciary. They do not come under Article 3. They are Article 2 judges, which is the executive branch. They work for the executive office for immigration review, which is part of the Department of Justice, the DOJ. So that means that their boss is the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. And who, pray tell, is Pam Bondi's boss? Who could fire Pam Bondi if you wanted to? Yep, the president of these United States, Donald J. Trump. So what's so key here is that this isn't some unprecedented power grab like the legacy media wants to think. That's exactly what they're trying to frame it as. This is Article 2 of the Constitution at work. The president has the constitutional authority to remove what are called inferior officers, and immigration judges are exactly that. So why is the legacy media so outraged over this? Well, because they don't want you to know what these judges have actually been doing. An NPR investigation, note that, NPR, right? Not some right-wing outlet. No, NPR found that most of the fired judges had backgrounds defending illegal migrants before they became judges. They were defenders of illegal migrants. One judge at 26 Federal Plaza, Manhattan, who was just fired, a fellow by the name of David Kim, he had the highest asylum grant rate of any judge at the courthouse. And so obviously the administration believes, and the evidence suggests, that these judges were far too lenient in allowing particularly illegal migrants to stay. They were letting people stay who should have been sent home long ago. And when you have a backlog of over 3.7 million immigration cases clogging the system, that's not compassion. That's criminal negligence. Let me give you the numbers.
Break it down, Steve. Break it down. Because they won't understand. Some of them still won't understand. Yeah.
The legacy media tries to hide from you.
The fake news media.
Exactly what Trump is responding to. The immigration court backlog has nearly tripled in just 4 years. Yes, you heard that right. Tripled. It's gone from 1.3 million pending cases in 2020 to 3.7 million by the end of 2024. The average wait time, you ready for this? The average wait time for a migrant to get a court hearing, almost 4 years. 4 freaking years. Oh, this is really going to boil your blood. Again, no, that's the average.
And y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember, some of y'all might not, some of y'all do. I said this not long ago. When we heard about the first set of firings, I don't know how many times we got to keep breaking this down. Due process. Do.
Right? It's almost 2026, right? There are some cases in New York that are not slated to be heard until the 2030s. So how on earth did it get this bad? Well, precisely because we had judges who prioritized ideology over enforcement. We had a system that deliberately and intentionally moved at a snail's pace while millions of cases piled up, waiting for Democrats to get the power they needed to declare mass amnesty. That's all these courts were in the end. That's what they turned into.
Yep.
They were just stalling tactics, waiting for the Democrats to officially induct tens of millions of new Democrat voters, keeping them in power.
And this is why this election was very, very important. This is why, man. Well, God dog, we probably won't have a country. Yeah.
But here's what's really driving the left crazy. The Trump administration isn't just firing judges. No. Far from that. They're doing something else that has the left in an absolute panic. Wait until you see this. Most Americans are still strapped in. You heard that right. The DHS is now actively hiring what they're calling deportation judges. So we've gone from the Secretary of Defense to Secretary of War, right? Now we're going from immigration judges to deportation judges. And these positions offer up to $200,000 in annual salary with potential remote work. And the new judges being brought in, they're all coming from backgrounds in immigration enforcement. You know, working for like Tom Homan. They're coming from the military. They're coming from federal service. They're not coming from some advocacy group, some NGO trying to keep illegal migrants in the country. A New York Times review of 11 new judges found that not a single one, not one, had immigration defense experience. Not one. Every one of them came from law enforcement backgrounds. Now, that's not an accident. That is Trumpian strategy. Left-wing activists are openly admitting that this purge by Trump, some are calling it a massacre, is fundamentally reshaping the entire deportation process in ways that will completely overhaul the system they deliberately clogged up. In fact, you'll love this. This will tell you everything you need to know here. The Democrats are panicking so much, they've actually introduced legislation, right? To no avail, of course, because they're not in power, but they've introduced legislation desperately trying to limit who can serve as a temporary immigration judge and prevent military lawyers from taking these positions, precisely because they know what's coming. They know what's a court system that actually works, and you can't have that. Not if you're trying to deliberately import a whole new voting constituency. You can't have that. They know that this will involve a court system that actually prioritizes deportation over delay, enforcement over ideology, judges who actually enforce the law instead of finding creative ways around it, an administration that's deadly serious about securing our border. I mean, make no mistake. The legacy media, they can whine, they can weep and gnash their teeth all they want. For American citizens who've watched this system fail for literally decades, this looks more like long overdue accountability than anything else. We've talked often about this on our channel in the past, actually for the last several years, ever since we began back in November 2016. There is a phenomenon, a worldwide phenomenon, that scholars call post-security politics. If you really want to know what MAGA is, I mean, there's a lot of terms we use like civilizational populism and all that. But another way of understanding and framing what Make America Great Again or America First is through the lens of what's called post-security politics. It's a worldwide political backlash against all the ways in which liberal globalists have eroded the securities that have historically been provided by the nation state. Border security, so, we don't get invaded and marauded and the like. Economic security, so I can have a decent standard of living. And cultural security, where we can all celebrate the same customs and cultures and speak the same language and the like. That's what the nation state's supposed to provide. Well, globalists, liberal globalists, have eroded those three securities systematically, as it were. So they've eroded our borders with mass immigration, bringing in cheap labor, and for Democrats, cheap votes, right? They've eroded our economic security by driving wages down with that cheap labor, all the while shipping our manufacturing jobs overseas, leaving our rural areas highly unemployed. And they erode our cultural security by inundating our nation with migratory cultures that refuse to assimilate into a distinctively American way of life. And so make no mistake, border security is the number one political issue for the vast majority of the world, let alone our country. Again, we talked about it in our earlier video today. Mark Mitchell over at Rasmussen found that 66% of likely voters support Trump's deportation policies. The latest New York Times poll found almost the exact same number. 63% support the deporting of all, not just some, all illegal migrants who entered the United States in the past 4 years. Again, the legacy media wants you to see these mass firings as chaos. I see it as correction. For too long, the immigration court system has been a bottleneck by design, staffed with judges who saw their job as protecting illegal migrants, not protecting American sovereignty. President Trump is doing what he was elected to do. He's cleaning house.
Clean up.
He's installing judges who will move cases through the system, and he's making it clear that the era of judicial activism in immigration courts is officially over. The Monday massacre wasn't a tragedy. It was a promise kept.
Woo! What a time to be alive. The big bad orange man is in town. The people spoke loud and clear. Orange man's coming to town. Orange man has arrived. And you will go around and find out. This is good. Oh man, the big bad orange man, they say. The threat to democracy, our democracy. Oh man, this is good. This is good. They don't even know how to spell democracy. The hell with your democracy. Constitutional Republic. Oh, that republic is making sweet gin outside. Moonshine. They in the back there making moonshine. Y'all get y'all a sip now. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.